I am the CEO and co-founder of Ape5. Um, so I previously have no background in clothing, and this is a venture of mine that I started when I was actively pursuing my music career. And I sat down with my brother and I, Jermaine Nadeau, and a couple of my other friends, and we came up with the idea of creating a affiliation company.
My name's Jermaine. Man, 8-5. Something me and my brother were just an idea. Me and my brother were just sitting in the room one day, just thinking, how could we change things in our lives and do something for ourselves and the people we know and friends and family and stuff like that. A way to just try to get out of our current situation, So we're just playing around with a couple ideas and throwing out some names and stuff, and it just seemed like it all just came together, like it was just supposed to be.
My name is Stanley Green, from Charleston, South Carolina. Videographer, cinematographer. How I came into 8-5, I met with Antoine through Will, a good friend named Will. Antoine needed a music video. He was rapping at the time, and we shot the video, and then we just became best friends. And he was just telling me about the 8-5 brand and what he wanted to do and how he wanted it to grow, and I was all with it.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Stapleton, and currently I work in the school system as a financial aid professional. And a couple of years ago, I got my MBA, and so I'm very interested in businesses, small businesses, entrepreneurs, and things like that. And I come into contact with a lot of different people. They have different stories, different backgrounds, and lots of great ideas.
I'm very fortunate to have been the director of graphic web and interior at the Art Institute of Charleston. Prior to that, I owned my own business for 10 years. And prior to that, I pretty much started as a graphic designer and grew to run corporate creative departments. So I spent a lot of years doing that. And it really did prepare me well to step into the college environment and address a lot of different creative careers.
I came into the picture of 8-5 when I met the owner. He was a very charismatic student that had a lot of great ideas. We had a very interesting conversation one day, and he kind of explained to me the idea, how it came into existence, and things like that. And one of the things that really intrigued me was just his passion behind it. The story was amazing. And from then on, I kind of started getting involved, kind of just consulting, just offering ideas, things like that. And from there on, it kind of just grew into, a little bit of just offering ideas, helping out where I could, and things like that. Just really interested in growing the brand and seeing where it could go.
My initial thoughts about the brand when, because I had no idea. I wasn't really engaging into it until I saw the merch come about. So I saw, like, oh yeah, he's for real. He had the designs, and he had the different color hats, and it was just cool. So I saw his vision even more after that.
My immediate goals for the company is to create exposure and to create demand. The reason why I say that is because I feel like 8-5 has a uniqueness to it that other clothing companies do not have. And what it does is it allows people to be different. And the company itself and the image behind Archie, which is the main character, is power, confidence, motivation. So I want people to wear my clothing and feel empowered.
My initial thoughts when I first heard about the brand, like I said, just in it being explained to me what it was and where it came from, the origin story just really hit me, really struck me. And again, like I said, just the passion behind it. You hear a lot of people talk about, their ideas and their goals and their dreams and things like that. But this particular story just struck me so differently. And it really intrigued me. I wanted to know more. I wanted to really see it get off the ground and be great?
Immediate goals, just bring some good positive clothing and energy to Charleston. You know, you see your Tommy Hilfiger, your Polo, you know, your Guess, your just a bunch of urban wear. And I just felt like Charleston, besides the Charlie O brand, which has done very well, doesn't have its own, you know. And I felt like was just wanting to bring something to Charleston that they could say that, you know, we could say that's our own.
After fast forward a little bit, after that we went to we got our first shirts made. So I was dealing with a lady at the Northwoods Mall, and this lady had prior experience in, you know, retail. She's owned a couple stores. She knew the owners of Billabong, Zoomies, and PacSun. So therefore, she kind of took me under her wing and helped me get the brand out there. So what happened is that the brand kind of got exploited. She ended up going like behind my back and taking the brand and putting it in stores without like my permission. She made money off my brand, and she was able to do certain things to where that I didn't even know about it. And I kind of lost money, and then I kind of lost that opportunity just because we fell out and we had our differences. I definitely faced a lot of trials and tribulations just because a lot of I was selling, you know, shirts out of my trunk. I would show up to areas with, you know, boxes full of shirts, and I would try to sell my shirts. Definitely got ran out of a couple places.
Some of the trials and tribulations that I faced was, you know, having the time to actually put 100% into it, you know, the financial aspect of it, you know, like I got kids, you know, I got, you know, bills just like everybody else. And I just think that the money wasn't there, or the time wasn't there, you know, to put 100% into it. But I think we had a good foundation and a good base and a good idea and a passion to try to really make it catapult, you know, where we needed to go. And it's still coming along.
If I could give Antoine any advice, I would tell Antoine that he should wrap his head around who that character is to him, and then help me wrap my head around who that character is to me. That Ape5 character is a significant brand, has a significant brand persona to Antoine, and he identifies with that character. I want to identify with that character as well. And so if Antoine could wrap that into a character profile, to keep that character profile in mind as he's promoting that brand, I think that he could reach a very broad demographic more easily than he is right now.
Any advice I would give for the brand will be to have a stronger social media presentation. You know, you got that. I think that's, even with Instagram and Facebook, that's the most strongest thing in this generation right now. And most people want to promote their brands and stuff like that. So I just wanted to, I think that if we get to that type of level of branding and showing the world, I think every piece would just sell out.
The best advice that I think that I could give would be to keep going and make it great and never doubt what it is or what it could be. Because I think when you start to get in the trenches and things start to get tough, you want to give up, and you can't, because it's a great idea, it's a great brand, and it's just amazing. There's nothing really like it out there on the market. I know that people would enjoy it once they knew what it was, where it came from, the story behind it, which is really what fuels me. So that would be the best advice I could give, is to just not give up and continue. Some
of my fears or things that I'm unsure about are, you know, putting the brand out or putting a product out that no one likes. I believe in the product. I'm very passionate about it. I've definitely, had hands-on throughout the whole process with the product, and I've learned that it's a high risk, high reward type of thing. This is creativity. So, creating that exclusiveness to your clothing brand is very hard at times because, the wave changes so much with fashion, and 1 minute something's in and next minute something's out. And being that I necessarily started out and I don't have a fashion background, but I am a creative, that's one of the things that I fear is, maybe my clothing is not what people want. So that's one of the things that stays in the back of my mind, but I also love it because it's that competitiveness that I like about clothing that keeps me on my toes when it comes to worrying about my fears. But personally, I've failed so many times that failing to me is just something normal. So I've heard plenty of times that, you have to fail to prevail, and, be better and learn from those mistakes. And everything that you fail at is necessarily not something you failed out. It's a lesson learned. So definitely, as a creative and as an entrepreneur and someone who's, very passionate about their clothing, I learned that failing is a part of the process.
Some of my fears would be like it'll be hot for a little while, it'll be a trend, and people will pick it up and then they'll put it down. You know what I mean? Something that I feel like, me and the other people that helped, create this thing and give their ideas, their sweat, their blood, their tears, their money, that people want to appreciate everything that went into it.
What would I change about 8-5 and why? Everybody coming together with more ideas. I know everybody has their lives to live with, and everybody has their lives, and they want to, they got kids and everything, getting married and everything. But if I just wish everybody come together and be more of an engine instead of just being like a text, or just to have everything together so we can, because we have great minds, so all these ideas can come about even more faster if we were all together. But I think soon it'll come together when everybody's available.
I think the only thing would just be making it great. Like, I just want it to be really awesome. I think it's a very solid idea. I think that the brand is going to continue to grow and be strong. So that is not like of a concern to me or anything like that. Really just getting it off the ground and making it that household name, having that recognition and things like that would be the most amazing thing.
My plans for the future 8-5 is continue to grow the brand, definitely work on more creative designs, definitely bring more exposure to the product, and also making the product accessible